So this is a continuation of the 6-6 worksheet. I'm just going to go through the word problems, kind of talk about them and help you get them set up, okay? So it says here that a friend makes $15 per hour at their first job and $11 per hour at their second job. So I'll call each of these my variables where I have X is hours at the first job, Y is hours at the second job. The goal is to make at least 600 per week. And that's your first inequality. It says at least 600. So when you think about your symbol, you think about whether you want the 600 here or whether you want the 600 here. And you'd think about which one makes it look like 600 is the least. That's how I kind of think about when I go to set them up, how I want that direction to go. And if I have 15 per hour at the first and 11 per hour at the second, and at least 600. Oops. Get too aggressive in my writing and break my lead all the time. And I've got my 600 right here. And then it says he does not want to make more. He does not want to work more than 55 hours. So again, you think about where your 55 would go. And you set it up and say that the hours from the first job, hours from the first job, hours from the second job, and 55. It says I don't want this to be more than 55. So 55 has to be the greatest. When you go to graph this, you're going to graph it in the same way we did this one in the last video. You're going to have to find your X and Y intercepts. You'll do that with this and with this. So you'll have things like 15 times 0 plus 11y is equal to 600. You can also use the greater than sign. We're plotting a point, so I always use the equal sign. Then you would divide by 11 on both sides. And we have 54. I don't know if you can see that very well. 54.54 repeating. And since this is a greater than sign, you'd need it to be more than that, so you can plot it at 55 if you like. And so on your y-axis, you need to get out to at least 55. We know that for y. Do the same thing for x, and then you'll find out how far your x-axis needs to go out as well. Your inequalities, are going to be set up very similarly for this one as well, because it talks about money amounts. And then it also talks about a total number of items. So that's going to be an equation that has inequality, that has this look to it. So see if you can get that one set up too. Don't forget to label your graphs. If I say that X is hours on the first job, I'll write that on this axis as well, and hours on the second job there. Here you'll have your variables will be things like stationery set and greeting cards on your each axis, okay?